Crikey chaps, it has been a beast of a week involving my husband, 6 broken ribs and a pneumothorax. He's now in Brighton Hospital for the foreseeable and probably over Christmas.
This was only day 4 of his 10 days in. However, he was out before Christmas. God, I look shattered.
Now, before I go in and see him, I decided I just needed to be a little bit calmer, more balanced, because that's what he deserves. So I've come out to Hove, which is just up the road from Brighton, where the hospital is. And I've just thought I would have a little bit of me time before I go in and smile gloriously for the next 6 or so hours. Now, the reason I chose this location is because it's walking distance into Brighton just ahead if I want to go and shoot perhaps the old pier. It's also got some really nice wind farm out there, the Rampions wind farm. And at the moment, the crepuscular rays, because it's a pretty dull day, are picking out beautiful scenes. So I've just taken a few shots of those, and what I'm going to do is go further down to a groin that I've shot beforehand and just see if I can get some medium exposures.
Now, I was never going to get any bangers from this day. My head wasn't quite in the right space, but I will share a few from previous occasions, just so you can see the flexibility that Brighton and Hove have to offer. So this is from that session, The Bird makes it for me. Yes, I had to take lots and lots of shots, but that's just what I needed.
Right, now this is my little jetty. It's about an hour before high tide, but I'm going to get very, very wet.
Very wet is not an option today.
Now that is my little jetty there. It doesn't look anything much right now. What I'm going to try and do is perhaps capture some of this water as it's crashing off the edge there. Then I might go up and sit above it and just try and capture a long exposure. I think I've got to be realistic. A long exposure with some nice calm flatness is not going to happen today. So today is about a grey day, just trying to capture a little bit of the movement, but with a medium exposure, I think.
Don't kid yourself, welcome. Today is about getting some headspace and perhaps thinking about turning the camera the right way round. Maybe?
Oh, God. Hey, I'm out.
Now this is where I should be standing. Yeah, don't worry, I didn't even try.
I've actually shot that jetty in a far less animated conditions, shall we say. It used to have a really quirky thing at the end, which kind of made it stand out from other jetties. Now, when you're standing on that jetty, it doesn't look too far to get to where I want to be, which is just sort of in front of that I-360, so I can shoot the old pier that was burnt out. But because I am on a time limit to go for visiting hours, I've got to pace it out a little bit. With such dreary conditions, which we tend to get quite a lot at this time of year, you're a bit limited with your creative decisions. I've got my 100 to 400 lens on, and I've already picked out some of those scenes. Every now and then it just becomes really spectacular. The thing is, the further you get along this coast, the more likely they are to line up and end up being kind of ugly big clumps as opposed to the loveliness that I had earlier. I am going to use photos from this area that I've shot on previous occasions, because today is more about just getting my head straight. Brighton is actually quite a versatile location, in part because it has sort of so many different and separate areas. One of the things that I love shooting is obviously the burnt out old pier. Every local photographer has their collection of burnt out pier shots.
Let's give you some context should you ever be in the area. The west side is my little jetty. I suggest you park in King Alfred's Leisure Centre. Moving east is a glorious bandstand that's lit up at night. East a little further is the mecca for photographers, Brighton's West Pier. And then there's Brighton's main pier. At this time of year it's really well known for starlings at sunset.
A quick update. After 10 days in the major trauma unit, Nigel is out of hospital just in time for Christmas.
And I think he's a little bit fed up with me playing Florence Nightingale. So when my photo buddy Ben called me earlier today and said, how about we just go out somewhere local, just see if we can shoot something a bit different? Well, he seemed a bit too keen, quite frankly, to get rid of me. So in theory, we're off to shoot bokeh in Brighton with the Christmas lights. In practice, there is a storm and it's actually raining, so I suspect it might be called off. But just in case it isn't, I'm filming this. So having done a thorough 2 hours of YouTube research on how to shoot bokeh, however you pronounce it, I have discerned that I need 2 lenses. I'm taking a macro which goes down to f2.8 and also a Sigma Arts lens which goes down to f1.4, which could be rather special. Wide aperture, aperture priority, image stabilisation. I think that's what I've picked up. God knows. And the image stabilisation is because I'm anticipating having to go handheld. I've got a little tripod, but quite frankly, it's so flippin' windy that I don't think it's going to work for a moment. Now, I've never shot bokeh, whatever it is. Bokeh. Why is it not focusing on you?
Because you're more important. This is your show.
This is my show. Bokeh. I've pronounced it wrong always beforehand. I've never shot this before, and luckily I am with the guru, Ben Harvey, who is very good at this. So every now and then you might hear him shout something at me. He's not being horrible, he's just educating me. Well, why not throw me a curveball, Harvey? That's not what I was expecting. Right. Oh, God. So I'm at Brighton Pavilion and we are waiting for the lone professional skater to come out. Knowing me, I'll cop this out right royally, but who cares? Who cares? I'm out. Right, because we haven't got the balance of twilight right. We're going to another location to do the bokeh bit, and then we're going to come back and all will be well. Balanced, colour, gorgeousness. I think my microphone issues were just indicative of how things were going, but do you know what? I just was so pleased that I wasn't the bloke who landed on his butt behind there, and also that I was just out. Right, so I am back at the clock tower here, trying desperately to get some long exposures. With light trails going through, you never know, it might rescue the day. It didn't. I was out of my comfort zone, with the wrong lenses, not shooting bokeh, and then this happened. Utter spanner I am. If a spanner could take on human form, you are seeing it now. Not only had I bought the wrong lenses out, but I only bought one battery, and it was old and knackered, a little bit like me. This man here, true professional, bought a selection of batteries, but not a single one I can use. Oh, look at that.
Where's the info? Full battery. Got a spare one as well, and a second camera. I've got 3 batteries.
You're missing the buses. You're missing the buses. So I think it is safe to say that I will be using full battery boys images for this video. And oh boy, can this man do bokeh. I think I'm clumsily trying to say in this video that for me, sticking a camera in front of my face just seems to give me a bit of balance, even when things aren't going quite as I'd hoped them to be. I suspect we've all got something that puts us back together when needed, and even though this had been a catalogue of mess-ups, it had been my medicine too. So it just remains for me to say thank you ever so much for watching. Myself and Full Battery Boy are going to end the evening, and I'm not at all bitter. Yes I am. So, where are we off to now then?
Essentially I've got too much battery left, so I just need to go and use up some energy. Probably just going to go and put my camera on the pavement and just leave it on for a bit. Use up a bit of juice.
Probably get a Milky Way shot.
Yeah, why not? I'll add noise reduction as well, so it'll do another 15-minute shot after that. We just shoot it in burst mode unnecessarily, 8K, all of it.